Hello, shmoji here. I will be narrating the story of the quest called the Harborage. This is the second quest in the main storyline. It will be narrated as if you, the viewer, are the hero in the game. Alrighty, let's dive into the story. The projection of the prophet tells you that he arrived back to Tamriel from Cold Harbor at a city called Davonswatch. Somehow, he found some ruins in the cliffs to the west of the city to set up camp in. He calls the ruins the Harborage. You arrive at the Harborage and find the prophet inside. You ask the prophet how he found this place that just happened to be empty. He responds by saying because of his blindness, his other senses are heightened and these ruins had the right smell to them. In Cold Harbor, the prophet had told you that your destiny is important to the future of all Tamriel, so you ask about it. He tells you that before he can tell you about the future, we must view the past. He invites you to enter his mind and walk with him through visions of the past so that you can gain an understanding of the events that brought you to this very moment. You enter into the mind of the prophet, however that works. The prophet says his part of the story began when he awoke on the steps of the Abbey of the Moth Priests. He had no memory of his past life. The Moth Priests took pity on him because he was weak and near death. They took him into their fold. At this point in his story, you are wondering, who exactly are these Moth Priests? The prophet says that it was with them that he first set eyes upon the Elder Scrolls and devoted his life to their study. This makes you think that the Moth Priests must be caretakers of the Elder Scrolls. Well, I guess they could also be thieves and they stole the scrolls, but it doesn't sound that way. He continues by saying that the scrolls allowed him to glimpse the fabric of reality, but each insight dimmed his vision and eventually left him permanently blind to the light of the world. That's crazy. Can you imagine that? Every time you study science and learn how the universe works, your vision weakens. However, I guess this is a bit different because science is humans reverse engineering this universe, while the Elder Scrolls were probably created by gods and show exactly how that universe works without the reverse engineering. Cool stuff. The prophet explains that the prophecies of the Elder Scrolls are a fluid, living thing that can change. He states that in the past, the actions of heroic mortals have rewritten the scrolls. You, the vestige, are important. The scrolls revealed to the prophet that your destiny is intertwined with the 5 companions. He just doesn't know why yet. You ask him, who are these 5 companions? They were a band of adventurers who wanted an artifact called the Amulet of Kings in order to persuade Akatosh, the dragon god, to accept their leader as one of the Dragonborn. The Dragonborn are mortals destined for greatness, with blood of dragons in their veins. It is said that only a true Dragonborn can ignite the eternal dragon fires in the Imperial City. You ask about who this leader was that wanted to be a Dragonborn. His name was Varen Acalarius, the son of a Colovian duke. He led a rebellion against Emperor Leovic and took the crown for himself. In accordance with tradition, those on the Ruby Throne are supposed to be Dragonborn, but Varen Acalarius was not. Inside of his brain, the prophet shows you the 5 companions. The first you already met in the last quest, Lyris Titanborn, daughter of giants and the mightiest warrior in the service of the Emperor. Second, there is Abner Tharn, a powerful sorcerer and Grand Chancellor of the Imperial Elder Council. Third, the Redguard Swordmaster, Sai Sahan, leader of the Imperial Dragon Guard. Fourth, the Imperial Emperor himself, Varen Acalarius, who attempted to light the dragon fires and failed, because he was not Dragonborn. And fifth is the traitor, Mannimarco, the King of Worms, a powerful necromancer and the person that killed you. Mannimarco convinced Varen that the Amulet of Kings could be used to perform a ritual that would rekindle the dragon fires that he could not light himself. He claimed this would please Akatosh and entice him to adopt Varen as one of the Dragonborn. He wanted to be the Dragonborn because even though he took the Ruby Throne as the new Emperor, he feared he would always be thought of as a pretender unless he was Dragonborn. The 5 companions walk over to the Dragonfire Brazier to perform the ritual. Varen claims he is Dragonborn, but nothing happens. Then, Mannimarco's true colors show, saying that the veil between Tamriel and Oblivion now tears and splits asunder. His master, Moloch Ball, is free to claim Tamriel for his own. The prophet explains that Mannimarco began stealing souls to power the dark anchors that pull Tamriel closer to Oblivion. You ask what went wrong in the ritual to cause the veil between worlds to break. He explains that Akatosh gave Alicia the Amulet of Kings as a symbol of his covenant with Nirn. As long as the amulet remained in the care of Alicia's heirs and the dragonfires remained lit, Tamriel would be protected from Daedra. However, Mannimarco tricked Varen into breaking this covenant. The Elder Scrolls named this event the Soulburst, since it gave Moloch Ball the opportunity to disconnect the souls of Nirn from their hosts. That's why you were a Soulshriven in the last quest. You ask what happened to the 5 companions. Varen was lost. In the chaos of the moment, Sai Sahan took the Amulet of Kings and fled. Lyris was captured by Mannimarco and delivered to Cold Harbor, the realm of Moloch Ball. Tharn remains Chancellor of the Elder Council, and his daughter, Clivia, rules as Empress Regent, but the true power remains in the hands of Mannimarco and his worm cult. You ask what happened to the Prophet during all of this. He tells you that he figured out Mannimarco's plan and was sent to Cold Harbor, where the 2 of you met. Inside his mind, you see a dark anchor that the Prophet told you about earlier. He states that if the Lord of Brutality and Domination is successful, he will merge our world and his own into something called a plane meld. Few will survive, and those that do will be enslaved for all eternity. The responsibility of stopping Moloch Ball and his dark anchors falls on you, according to the Prophet. You leave his mind and return back to reality. He explains that you must gather your own companions in order to defeat Moloch Ball. This means you must go back to Cold Harbor and rescue Lyris, who you previously left in order to save the Prophet. However, he needs some time in order to pinpoint her exact location. Bringing you into his mind took quite a toll on the Prophet, so he needs to rest. He tells you that he will contact you when the time is right. Until then, walk in the light, Vestige. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe. Shmoji out.